One of the biggest problems with smart home tech in South Africa is that it's not really made for South Africans. We've got a lot of like really unique problems when it comes to how our houses run, like load shedding, that it's just not really accommodated for on the global scope, the global smart home scene, if there's such a thing. Because of this, and because a lot of people don't really understand how smart homes work in South Africa, I think a lot of people just kind of steer clear of it. But there's a very cool product that I'm going to be talking about in this video. They are sponsoring the video, but I only said yes because it's such an exciting piece of hardware. It's called the HotBot by a company called Plentify, and it's designed by an ex-Google employee to address load shedding, but also to make sure you are saving money on your geyser. So it's a little smart device that connects to your geyser with a bunch of sensors. And with those sensors, it's able to read what the temperature of the water is, obviously, if there's any leak detection with like a moisture sensor, which all connects to an app, which at the moment is just a web app until they've developed like a proper app, but it works really well, which allows you full control of your geyser from your phone. But for South Africans, the really cool part is this. It uses their own eskom API to connect to eskom and find out when load shedding is happening in your area. So in the app, you'll let them know what area you're in. It will then adjust your geyser to make sure that there's hot water in the times that you need it. Initially, when you set it up, you can choose the times that you need hot water, and then it will make sure that it preheats the water and then keeps it for you after load shedding so that your geyser's got the temperature that you've set it for at the times when you need it, and it works in and around load shedding, which is really clever. It's got its own battery so that it won't go off during load shedding, and it's got its own SIM card, so it's never offline. It will always be able to reach Eskom's servers and know what to do with that hot water. This actually addresses another problem that we have that not many people are aware of. A lot of substations in South Africa blow up because the demand that geysers in particular put on the grid when load shedding ends is actually extremely high. So when load shedding ends, a whole bunch of houses go online all at the same time to heat up their geysers, and that demand can actually blow up substations. That could be the difference because it's one of the most demanding appliances in your house. By having a whole bunch of devices in your neighborhood that have a HotBot device, it's able to preempt that because it knows when load shedding is happening, it knows when it's ending, and it knows which geysers are coming online and which aren't in some cases. So it can then juggle those geysers. And also, just because load shedding ends might not be at a time when you need hot water, it might be 2 in the morning. So it's a waste of money for you to have the geyser on at 3 in the morning because you don't need that hot water then. Just to clarify, this isn't a whole nother geyser that you have. It's literally a little box that connects to your geyser. So we're getting to try it out for a couple of months, and I'll probably give you some feedback on my socials on how that's going.
Right, so future branch here. So while we were editing this video, we realized that we were doing projections on how much we saved, which were totally wrong. This is the updated amount, 240 Rand since the 8th of September. So that's what we've saved in the last over the last month, and in the last 11 days we saved 141 Rand, and that's just because over time it just gets better and optimizes, so you are bound to save more and more. And then obviously that's something that you can tweak more and more if you're feeling super nerdy, which definitely it's literally gonna pay off. That's yeah, that's amazing.
It's got an AI built into it. So it knows if it's created hot water and you're not using it at certain times, even if you've preset it at those certain times. So the AI will then send you an email every month, and it's like just a roundup of how much money that you've saved and so on. But also give you suggestions on how you can change your usage patterns or change the heating of your geyser to save more money, which is really cool. It's like the end game of this product is to make sure that you aren't spending as much money as you are currently now. And then obviously there's all the, the climate change things you don't want, and the pressure on the grid and Eskom, all our unique problems that we have here that it's solving. It's such a great product, and it's very seldom that we see a product like this, a smart product like this, in South Africa for South Africans. And lastly, one of my other favorite parts of the whole experience is that it's got a vacation mode. There are a lot of these, I call them like analog timers. They're not analog, they're digital, but they're not connected, they're not smart. And we had one like the Geyser brands or whatever that you have like installed in your house. And as cool as they are, they require a lot of manual attention because there's no artificial intelligence, there's no AI doing it, or you can't control it from your phone. So if you go on holiday, you have to switch it off when you leave, and you've got to switch it on when you come back. But there's a vacation mode built into the phone. So before you go away, you can click vacation mode. Say you're going away for 2 weeks. The Geyser will not be on for those 2 weeks. That's something that you can do on your phone that you can't do with one of those, the non-smart devices that you have like that. So that when you get home, the whole family can shower and there will actually be hot water. You don't have to wait for the hot water to heat up. As far as the installation experience went, it was very chilled. A plumber came around for maybe about an hour, got into the ceiling, put in the HotBot and installed it. You get a card, it's super easy to activate. And then you have full access, it's there, it works. There was nothing else that needed to go down, which was really cool. Like that kind of painless, seamless transition from taking your old Geyser and making it smart is, it's worth the time, it's worth the energy, 100%. And like knowing now that I've saved like 27 Rand and it's only been like a week, so in theory, say I'm saving like 30 bucks, 30 times 4, we're saving 120 Rand. Like that to me is extremely worthwhile. And then I'm going to be able to make that better over time as more information about how our water usage works, so that we can sharpen our water usage. And then it's a set and forget system. So you don't have to think about constantly tweaking your Geyser, because that is just, who's got time for that? And that's what the Geyser wires and all that kind of technology expect of you. But now we can just do it from our phone, set it, forget it, see the email at the end of the month, and have information that we need to improve our water usage, our electricity consumption, and save the grid in our neighborhood, which is really cool. So I highly recommend municipalities jumping on board if they can for something like this. But secondly, individuals like us, if you want to save some money, this is a great solution for that. I'm going to include all these links in the description so that you guys have access to this. I think we need to start sharing a little bit more of these things. And thank you so much to Plentify for installing the HotBot in the ceiling. I appreciate it. I will be giving you feedback on Instagram. Go check out my reels on my TikTok. Definitely as the process goes down and give you a realistic look. But right now it's been a very painless and a very smart inclusion to our home. Pun, I'll take it. I'll see you guys in another video. Cheers.